What's up, everybody? You're watching Cardboard. Coach Neil.
There you go. Thanks, Mike. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I made a video. I don't know. It's summertime, just busy. Work is good. Family's good. Family is leaving. I got two boys. We have two boys that are heading back to college. So I've been trying to squeeze every last drop out of their company. So when they're home and they're both not working, which is rare, like to have a little family time. But yeah, so because of that, haven't really made a video, haven't really had time to watch too many videos. So here I am. Aren't you guys lucky? If I even put this thing out, because I really don't know what I want to talk about. I know the last time I put out a video, this was prior to the National. It was cool seeing stuff at the National. The footage, the commentary, pros and cons about it. I will say this, for those that have never been to a National, you should try to make it. It is, as corporate as it is nowadays, it's still the show of shows. It's huge. I mean, just to see the site. I have never seen a National that has two stories. And I heard the second floor was better than the first one. So, I mean, that in and of itself is a reason to go to a National. I was not able to attend this year. Really have no desire, simply because the Philly show is 3 times a year and it's an hour away. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, the National, it was great hearing people's takes on it, seeing what they've picked up, and of course, some commentary, just the overall state of the hobby, which I guess a lot of people have been making state of the hobby type videos, and what to buy and what's hot and this and that. Pricing, it's soaring, and yeah, it is, and all of that is true. In terms of, well, everything. Even non-sport is getting talked about. And everything nowadays, it just seems it's just harder and harder to purchase, items. I just watched a YouTube video from Phil Gary talking about the REA auction, and as great as that auction always is, he was disappointed because he was trying to get one of a couple different cards, got one, wasn't really too excited about making the purchase, but he walked away with something. But two of the bigger cards he wanted, they went for a lot more than what they're going for, and that's what's happening. These unique pieces, not necessarily, cards with, NBA stickers or anything like that. Just unique stuff is just getting harder and harder to purchase. And at times, you kind of feel like if you don't win it, well, you're going to be shut out until the next time it becomes available, which may be not in our lifetime. I think a lot of stuff is getting tucked away. A lot of stuff is being treated as assets, which isn't a bad thing, because we all own them. We can complain about it as much as we want, but the hobby isn't going to change for us. It's not. It's just the way it is. I think baseball cards in general, sports cards in general, and now non-sport cards, have been going way, way up in price and soaring. I'm just going to show some stuff as I go. I mean, I just wanted to make a video. So here we go. But, non-sport, I'm a big Disney fan. I'm glad I have this. And this is an SGC 5. I bought it probably 20 some years ago for less than $50. And I wanted to say like $25, $30. But this card's like $3,000 plus, $4,000. It's unbelievable to me. Buddy of mine told me to sell it. And I said, for what? Because, I mean, what am I gonna buy? And so I'm talking to him, and he was talking about consolidation, which, again, is a topic. And he was going to sell a bunch of stuff to get a card that a lot of people are talking about, and that's a 48 leaf Jackie Robinson. And yes, I said 48 leaf on purpose. It's a 48 leaf. You can call it 49 if you want, and I'll accept that. But No, it's a 48 leaf. End of story. I don't care if they came out in 49. They're called 48 leaf. But I digress. So he's talking about the card. And I said, he does not have a YouTube channel, by the way. I said, that this is news to me. I mean, I know what cards you've talked about over the years, but never this Jackie Robinson. And, well, a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are, I said, since when are you influenced by people? That's going on too much. Or I should say, I don't blame the influencers. I don't blame the people that talk about these things or show their cards off. Who doesn't like seeing big time cards like that? But it's the people that are actually buying this stuff, buying into it. Like, I got to get this, I got to get that. Where does it end? So again, I don't know if this video is going to make sense. They usually don't, but hey, you know what? I'm still going to make it. I'm still going to keep on pushing through this thing because there's going to be a point in here for someone, right? Someone's going to pick up something. So I mentioned NBA stickers earlier, and I guess there's gold, silver, and bronze. By the way, the bronze and the gold, you really can't tell. Sometimes they look a little bit different, or the same, I should say. But, I don't understand what this is. I mean, I think the gold, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Mike is saying, hey, this is a top 5% of this population for the card. And I'm wondering, does he have all these cards? I mean, how does he know? I've seen some golds too that I just, I don't know. I choose not to buy cards with stickers if they're the same price as what it normally would be, which, you never even know because comps are all over the place. And I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that some cards like graded like a 1.5. I had one just for this purpose. Cards that graded like a 1.5 that look really, really nice, like this 1934 Lou Gehrig. I mean, I look at this card, and I guess by my definition, a 1.5 is like a poor plus. I mean, to me, for a card that's almost 100 years old, like, this is how it should look. I don't want a card that is that old or older graded a 7. I just don't want it. I don't trust it. And that's the thing. The card itself is real, but to keep that condition for all those years, I don't know. I just, like, to me, when I was young, cards were good with plus or minuses. Maybe it was poor, and then VG, and then X, and near mint plus. Like the BCCG, I think that's what it's called, the early Beckett grading. Like, to me, that was legit. The cards apparently are not, or the crossover rate, which is another tangent. Everyone's thinking about crossing this and crossing that. I'm a big fan of slabs. I like having SGC. I like having PSA in my collection. I even have a few Beckett's. I have one CGC, which is a really actually nice slab. And again, I apologize. I'm probably all over the place. But, some other slabs I just do not care for. I do not care for certain slabs that are kind of newer. I don't like the backstory behind them. I'll just leave it like that. I was told really not to bring up anything, but I did anyway. Just a little bit, so... again, it's just, YouTube is great. I love making videos. I love watching when I do have the time, but it just seems like people are doing what they're told, including people making content. It has to be approved by this upper echelon that exists somewhere out there in YouTube land, or so I hear. Maybe it's just, I'm just hearing it in my own head. I don't know. So, just rambling on. Non-sport, like I said, is going crazy, but here's a couple new pickups I made. This is a 1940s Pinocchio postcard. And here's another one. And I like this kind of stuff. And I'm trying to get some kind of cool stuff right now before these things turn into $1 million pieces, because you just don't know. anymore. I showed this one earlier. This was a CIA auction. This is one of my newest Disney pieces and one of my favorites already. And this is a Chocolate Lover's Donald Duck, but just again, I'm not even bothering to turn the camera around on this thing, but it's just a cool card. But I don't know. To me, pricing, you got to roll with it. Cards you want to get, I'm going to suggest that you just find a way, because it just seems like they're either A, not going to be around, or B, they're just going to be a little bit higher months down the road or next year. Who knows? I just, again, I'm just rambling. I just haven't made a video. I've been told by a number of people I need to put one out. I didn't really know what to talk about. So here I am. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far, because I'm not done. So I am, I think 6 cards short on my Red Heart set. And again, I talked about SGC and PSA, and I have them both. And 1 CGC. Here's Harvey Keene and Al Rosen. And there's a little bit of glare on both. Let me just angle these. But these are the examples I'm looking for. Again, they got to be slabbed. I am a slab head. I do like some cards being slabbed. Got a great sound when you're flipping through them. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, and you have some slabs, flip through them. You'll hear that sound. And it might be music to your ears. You never know. And you can thank me for telling you that. So, it's just a lot of things, a lot of rambling. I don't know what else to talk about. Oh, the Philly show is coming up September 25th through the 27th. And Ray from Philly and myself will be hosting the 4th YouTube meetup, YouTube meet and greet on Saturday, September 26th. And it's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn, 500 Crescent Boulevard. I think that's what it is. 500 Crescent Boulevard. It's right next to the Oaks, to the Philly Show Convention Center. And this has grown in years. It has grown, or not years. This will be a 1 year. Actually, September of last year was the first show. September coming up is going to be our 4th. So in between, it went from 10 or 11 people into the high 40s, low 50s for the Christmas event in December. And then this past March, we hit into the low 60s, low to mid 60s. And Ray and I are thinking, this is going to be every bit of 75 plus. I personally think it's going to top. It's going to get to that triple digit mark. We got some guys coming out. I know Mike is coming out, BBC. I know that Orlando is coming out, and of course, Chris from Missouri. So if you see Chris, you want to make sure you have a Snickers bar, because apparently he likes them. And Dave from Peacemaker Cards can probably attest to that. I think he was searching for a Snickers bar last time at the show where he ran into Dave Peacemaker. But I'm looking forward to it. So it should be a really, really good show. Again, just kind of rambling. It's not quite a Mangini rant, but and no one does it better than that guy. But I figured, I'd throw out a video. If you watched, I appreciate it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you. And until next time, we will talk.